In the hush of a fading dusk, when the sky still holds the warmth of 1,000 golden farewells, I saw you standing at the edge of a moment that felt like destiny unfolding. The light caught in your eyes wasn't just the sun, but the spark of something ancient and inevitable. You smiled, and the silence between us turned into music only our hearts could hear. There was no script, no rehearsed beginning, only breath and presence, and two souls finding each other in the echo of everything they'd ever longed for. The wind whispered your name like a secret, and suddenly the world made sense. You weren't a stranger, you were a memory I hadn't lived yet, a story I was born to tell. Our hands met, not by height, but by gravity. My soul, weary from searching, recognized you as home before my mind caught up. And in that first moment, time didn't stop. It finally started. The ticking was no longer a countdown to loneliness, but a rhythm leading to forever. So we stepped forward, not into a promise, but into a truth that waited for centuries to find its shape in us. We wandered through seasons that bloomed in our names, where every leaf fall and snowflake reminded us that change is just love's way of reinventing itself. I watched you through spring's laughter and summer's golden haze, through autumn's introspection and winter's quiet grace. In all of it, you were constant. You were the smile I hadn't known I was waiting for, the heartbeat I hadn't heard in anyone else. The world tried to distract us with noise and shadows, but we learned to speak in glances and walk in rhythm. We built rituals from small things, a look across the room, fingers brushing in passing, the way you sighed when you were tired, but still wanted to talk. These weren't habits, they were vows, the kind unspoken yet etched into the foundation of everything we'd become. We didn't fall in love. We grew into it, like trees, learning to reach together toward the light. And even when storms came, even when silence threatened to grow louder than our laughter, we held on. Not because we were afraid of breaking, but because we believed in bending. There were days we didn't know how to talk, when distance sat beside us like an unwelcome guest, whispering doubts in languages we'd hoped we'd never learn. But even then, love held a mirror to our better selves. We found courage in apology and strength in forgiveness. You'd reach for me, not just physically, but emotionally, and I'd feel seen, raw, and real. Love isn't perfect. It's messy, complicated, sometimes quiet and bruised, but it's also persistent. You showed me that love isn't always loud fireworks and grand gestures. It's waking up every morning and choosing each other again. It's the tea you made without asking, the way you noticed when my laughter didn't reach my eyes. You didn't need to fix me, you just held space until I healed myself. That's love, the kind that doesn't flee in the face of imperfection, but finds beauty in the scar. And in those moments when fear whispered, "What if this ends?" you always whispered back, "But what if it does?" And so we stayed. We fought. We healed, not because we were perfect, but because we were worth the effort. Memories started weaving themselves like constellations in the sky of our shared life. Trips we never planned but couldn't forget. Jokes that made no sense to others, but held our history in their punchlines. You learned the language of my silences, and I learned the dance of your dream. In your arms, time became elastic. Minutes stretched into lifetimes, and an hour could feel like an entire season. We didn't count days, we counted moments. How your fingers curved around mine, like puzzle pieces. How your eyes lit up when you spoke of the future. How your presence filled every room like sunlight. We built a home, not just of bricks or walls, but of laughter and listening, of compassion and compromise. And even the walls learned our rhythm. The echoes of midnight talks, of quiet cries, of joy too big to be contained. I remember dancing with you in the kitchen. Your socks mismatched, the song forgotten, but the feeling unforgettable. We built our life like that, imperfect, spontaneous, deeply real. Every memory a brick, every choice a beam. And what we built was more than shelter. It was sanctuary. People often asked us, "What's your secret?" As if love is a puzzle with a singular solution. But we knew better. There's no magic formula, only intention. We didn't seek perfection. We sought presence. We showed up. On the good days, yes, but especially on the bad ones. When the world felt heavy and we didn't have the answers. We held hands anyway. We learned to say "I'm sorry," before pride could build walls. And I love you not as habit, but as truth. We found strength not just in laughter, but in tears, in knowing we could be vulnerable, without being abandoned. And maybe that's the secret, not in doing everything right, but in staying even when things go wrong. We built trust like a garden, planting seeds daily, watering them with effort, pruning away doubt with gentle truth. And it grew, oh how it grew, into something that fed us, protected us, warmed us. Even in silence, we were loud with meaning. Our glances held libraries, our touch told stories. We didn't just live together, we grew into something larger, something that couldn't be named but could always be felt. I think of the nights we stayed up, not to talk but to be near each other, two souls at peace in the presence of love. You'd fall asleep beside me, and I'd listen to your breathing like a lullaby, written just for me. The moonlight would sketch your outline, and I'd trace it with my thoughts, wondering how I got so lucky. You weren't a wish granted, you were the reason I stopped wishing. With you I learned the language of gratitude, of seeing beauty in the mundane. Your laugh over a burnt dinner, the way you hugged me when I doubted myself. Those became holy things. We didn't chase happiness, we nurtured it. Brick by brick, word by word, we made joy our daily choice. And in those quiet nights, when the world outside kept spinning madly, we built stillness, we built warmth, we built forever, not out of grand moments, but out of the smallest acts done with love. The way you looked at me after a long day, the way we held each other without needing to explain. That's the architecture of real love. That's the blueprint of us. There were trials. Of course there were. Love doesn't make you immune to life's chaos. It just gives you shelter from the storm. We faced losses, disappointments, things that threatened to unravel all we'd sewn together. But we didn't unravel. We rewove, stronger, tighter, more deliberate. The world threw storms at us, and we learned to build boats from our shared resilience. Sometimes you held the sails. Sometimes I rowed. Sometimes we just floated in faith, knowing that the storm, like everything else, would pass. And it did, every time. Because love like ours doesn't sink. It bends, it shifts, it learns to sail differently. You taught me how to stay when leaving. Might have been easier. I taught you that silence can be sacred, not scary. And through it all we never lost a thread. Even when tangled, we never let go. We built forever not in spite of the trials, but because of them. They taught us what mattered. They cleared away the noise. They sharpened our focus. And at the center of it all, always, was us. Unshaken, unbroken, still choosing. We built forever not because we were promised more time, but because we made meaning out of every moment we were given. I look at you now, and I still see the person who stood at the edge of that first beginning, but deeper, richer, more fully known. We grew up together, even if we didn't start young. We evolved not away from each other, but toward each other. Every change, every challenge, every quiet victory added another layer to this love we live inside. You are not just my partner. You are my story, my rhythm, my compass. I wake beside you, and it's never ordinary. It's always sacred. We built forever in ways others couldn't always see. In the patience behind each take, your time, in the sacrifice behind each compromise, in the grace behind each other. Let's try again. We didn't arrive here by accident. We built this with intention, with faith, with effort. And as the years unfold like petals before us, I know we will keep building, because love like ours isn't just lived, it's crafted, every day, with hands that never stopped reaching, with hearts that never stopped believing. If someone asked me what love is, I would show them, not in your perfection but in your persistence, in how you never gave up, even when life gave every reason to, in how you saw beauty in me, when I couldn't see it myself, in how you turned every day into an offering, every word into a promise kept. You are not just a chapter, you are the ink, the pages, the entire book, and I will keep writing with you, until the very last page, until the ink runs dry, until the stars forget how to shine. Because this love, this wild, quiet, brave, unwavering love, it isn't temporary.